Well, I'm afraid I'm not actually done talking about Pillion because it was not at all what I was expecting. From the reviews and the heated rivalry of it all, thought this was going to be like another horny gay situation. And Mama, it was that, but it was not that. It was not a romance. And it was weird to also now go back and hear. I think I saw that like Alexander Skarsgård was talking about how it's like maybe he called it a dom-com to play on words, but like it was definitely funny. There were funny parts, but it was not a romance to me personally. In fact, it was actually following someone who was sort of exploring themselves in a queer or gay relationship, and it's almost like a subculture of LGBTQ, like I don't know, the word escapes me, but like that dom and sub relationship situation, exploring that and actually like testing your own boundaries and growing from it was actually a very interesting story to watch. And I come from also a position of like so much of what is popular queer and gay media is truly just like coming out stories and people feeling acceptance, which is great. It is amazing that, those can get popular in mainstream, but the reality is that not everything we experience as queer and gay LGBTQ plus people across the spectrum is just the coming out part of it. It is then like, it is testing our boundaries. It is determining what we like with partners. It is asserting our own confidence. And you literally watch Colin, who's like one of the main characters, find that through a relationship that was something at the beginning, changes, and then you're sort of experiencing it with him. That is actually quite amazing. And I can see why maybe it's not going to get as popular as something like Heated Rivalry, because this is sort of a niched and nuanced topic within LGBTQ plus stories, but I kind of love it for that. One of my friends came out of it and was like, oh, this was filled with a lot of trauma. And yes and no, right? Because I feel like in order to establish boundaries or understand what we like, we do have to push the limits of something, like to figure out that maybe this kind of like dominant and submissive relationship pairing was for him. He did have to like go to a certain extent to figure out like what he's okay with and what he's not. That might be filled with positive and negative experience, and like some of the way a relationship goes down can be traumatic, but also like good and bad experiences to me don't necessarily all have to have like we don't have to label it all like capital T trauma, but I think it was really wonderful to see him like be open, experience it, and then decide what he wanted in the end. Obviously, there's a lot more that happens between that, but to me, this movie was like really powerful and beautiful in that sense, not because it was like a sexy, horny situation.